Welcome to the Orators Diary, your go-to podcast for public speaking tips and tricks, speeches, and vibes. I am Afope Folorun.
And I am Yemisi. Before I disclose the topic for today, one thing that is very important as a public speaker is knowing yourself. Understanding your personality plays a very important role in knowing the kind of speaker you are.
And that is why on today's episode, we are going to be discussing the various kinds of public speakers that we have.
Hopefully by the end of this episode, you'll be able to classify yourself amongst the speakers we discuss.
We have various kinds of public speakers, and today we are going to be talking about 4 kinds of speakers. First, we have the technical speakers,
motivational speakers,
the entertaining speakers,
and the activist speakers. So for the technical speakers, these are people who are professionals in their fields. They are able to give specifics, details like in-depth knowledge about any topic that you ask them to discuss. Just for example, you are doing a program on breast cancer awareness. You can't just call anybody to speak about it because they'll just give you surface knowledge, everything that people know basically. But a doctor will be able to state the cause, the prevention, the measures you can put in place to avoid it, and all that stuff. So that is why these speakers are professionals at what they do. Nobody can do it like they do it.
Exactly.
That's just it.
Exactly.
Nobody can do it like they do it.
Yeah. And yes, we have the motivational speakers. Motivational speakers are often energetic speakers. They have something that is burning within their heart that they are passionate about and they want you to change. They often have, various ideologies and ideas and passionate topics that they want to talk to persons about, like you can arise and shine. They always speak with such energy and vigor, right?
Yes, like when motivational speakers speak to you, there's just this push. You go back and you'll be like, I want to be a better version of myself.
Exactly. They want you to change.
That is basically the point of motivational
speaking. Yes. And it is important to note that, as a motivational speaker, you can't just be energetic all through. We have speakers that, are soft and are energetic. So there needs to be like a blend, between the two in order for a motivational speaker to be able to pass his or her point appropriately.
Yes, and now to the entertaining speakers. These speakers are, I don't call them comedians because it's not like they are outrightly giving comedy, but they add a little bit of humor to their speeches. You would listen to them and you would laugh because they infuse life lessons into their speeches in a funny way. They'll just make a comment about something you can relate to, and you'll be like, right. That's me, that kind of feeling. And they do it in such a dramatic way that you feel like you are part of their speech, like you are involved in their speech. So at some point, everybody laughs, then they get serious again, and basically they don't lose their message. They do it in a fun way. So if you are someone that you're against boring speeches, I think these are the kind of people you should listen to.
Exactly. And if you are so sorrowful and you need to get happy or joyous or joyful, I think entertaining speakers are the kind of speakers you should look out for.
Definitely.
Yeah. And moving on to the 4th kinds of speakers we are going to be talking about today, the activist speakers. Wow, these people are politicians. Yes, they are politicians because they have this idea and their aim is for you to buy into the idea. Nothing more, nothing less. These are politicians, human rights activists. They are also very energetic. Too. Yes, and pastors. Yes, they can be activist speakers because they're like, this
is the Bible.
Exactly. Like you can't argue with what this is what the Bible says. That kind of vibe. This is what they bring. Yes. And many times people tend to confuse activist speakers and motivational speakers because they are both energetic, but we need to understand that for motivational speakers, they want you to change. But for activist speakers, they want you to buy into the idea. They're like, okay, I'm going to change Nigeria, vote for PDP, that kind of thing. So yes, this is what activist speakers do.
The most accurate examples are politicians.
Exactly.
Because you see them when they are giving their manifestos or they're doing their campaigns,
and
they'll
giving
hype
promises
us up first.
Oh my God.
And your focus will be in the hype. no longer what they are saying, and
Free
you're just
education, no strike
you're
in
just going with the
Nigeria.
vibe and all that stuff. So regardless of the fact that we have different kinds of speakers, it is only ideal that as a public speaker, you should be able to fit into these various kinds of speakers, because as a public speaker, people would want to hear you speak. They don't want to understand that, okay, we have this kind of speaker, that kind of speaker. They believe that the moment you get on stage, you're supposed to deliver. But that doesn't mean you should lose yourself, because that is the most important thing, knowing yourself. So you can be a master at one, but you should also have knowledge about all other speakers and how to deliver their speeches.
Yes, as a public speaker, you have to be dynamic. That is very, very important. And so we have reached the end of today's episode. This podcast has been brought to you by ABC Speak Academy. To learn more about public speaking, register for training at ABC Speak Academy. To register, contact Coach Empress on 0701 635 6886. You can also contact and connect with us on Instagram at ABC_speak. And we would love you to remember that I can speak,
You can speak,
and anybody can speak.